Hi, I'm Steve Thompson, president of Emery Thompson Machine.
I'm Christy Brown, vice president of sales and marketing.
Christy, what do you got for this week?
I get to go first today.
You get to go first. She gets to go first because she demanded it.
I did.
Are you going to drink that?
No. My mother told me a story once of why that's a very bad idea.
Oh, okay. And you didn't listen.
I did listen, but I'm not going to do it.
All right.
So we had our seminar last week, and one of the questions I was asked is, which vanilla should I use? The expensive vanilla or the cheap stuff? This is what Jeff does use sometimes, from what I'm told, but I know he likes to stinge off of Steve here and just gurgles it right into the machine. Here's my preference on vanillas. If you're making a vanilla ice cream, always use the best vanilla that you can get. This is by Lockheed Vanilla. They make a variety of all different types of vanillas from many different types of orchids, and they grow it in Madagascar. As Steve always says, if you taste the vanilla and it's like crap, then they're chinsing on the vanilla and they're no good. So always use the best stuff you can find for making vanilla ice cream. Now, if you're making a flavor that just calls for vanilla, like a splash of it here and there, to me, you can get away with using the cheaper stuff because you're not making a vanilla ice cream with it. You're just using it to help enhance, so that'll help save money. This is about $130 for the gallon. This is about $4 for the bottle. Now, Steve might disagree, but this will help, save money, and you can add a splash of this and then use this for your predominant vanillas.
I would say that if you're selling filet mignon and you're serving them cheap hamburger meat, you're not giving them what they came through the door for. I wouldn't chintz on flavors anywhere. Give them the very best.
If you're making Oreo ice cream, why do you need to put in this? You're not tasting the vanilla in the Oreo. The vanilla has just helped to enhance it, so why not use the cheaper stuff if you're just adding a splash of it in Oreo ice cream?
Well, because you'll start saying that later into other flavors.
Well, Jeff just uses this, period.
Yeah, I know. I have a series of questions from a lady named Cynthia Quinto, and Cynthia had some very good questions. The first one was, what should I charge for a scoop of ice cream? It's a great question. 20 years ago, we were charging $2.25. And the main reason was not because that was a good price, but because we were afraid that if we charged more than that, people would go off and buy Breyers at the supermarket for $2 for a half gallon. It wasn't true then, and it's not true now. Charge a fair price, and the people will come to your store. That fair price has gone up with inflation and everything else going on in the world, extra costs, the whole works. I would say, from talking to my customers, the average price right now is about $5 for a scoop of ice cream. Now, that $5 is pretty high, so the scoop of ice cream has gotten larger. It's now about 5 ounces of ice cream as opposed to 4 ounces. So they're getting more for their money, but there's some magic numbers going on in here. Before I tell you about that, also on your signage where it says $5, I don't know that you can see this, but break it down. If you have sales tax in your state, which is almost every state, let the customer know that your price isn't just arbitrarily $5, it is $4.71 plus the, in my case, 29-cent sales tax equals $5. That tells them, number one, you're running an honest business, you're paying the sales tax, and number two, you've given great thought into what this price would be. But the most important thing is taking a family of 4 out to buy ice cream. If it's $5 and there's 2 children and 2 adults, the person who's paying for it plunks down a $20 bill, and they've got the entertainment of the entire family eating ice cream. If you made it so that it was $5.10, now you're having to put down $25 and you're getting a lot of change back. Men don't like to carry change. Women carry little change purses, but we don't like to carry it. But in your mind, the person who's paying for it is saying to himself, that cost over $20 to go to that place and entertain my children. But a $20 bill, it's sad to say with the inflation all, we plunk it down and we get what we want. So I think $5 is a pretty good magic number to be selling the product at.
I think so. Another good question that I was asked was, how do I find my formulas if I just come up with something? as every woman does, you sit at home on your phone on Facebook. And good example of how I am going to try out a new Italian ice recipe on the CB200 that you all know I have at home. It was just as easy as that. One of my friends had posted on Facebook, it was called Jack Frost. It was some, girly frou-frou drink. And I said, oh, that looks good. So I opened it up, read the ingredients to make just the drink. Pineapple juice, blue curacao, light rum, and cream of coconut. That I know. Now, I just need to equivalate it to make the amount of liquid that I need as far as all of this and the water, and then I know I need 1 pound of sugar for the little one, the CB200. So boom, done. That's how I got my formula. That's how I come up with ideas and recipes. So I'm going to give that one a whirl, and I think it's going to come out fantastic.
And that was simple.
And it was. And, it's not that hard. You just scroll through, and like I had told the audience, I said, sometimes it's even just a family dessert recipe that my mom had made for me as a kid. And I'm like, I can make that into an ice cream. It's that simple.
I like it.
Yeah.
I look forward to tasting that flavor.
Okay.
Let me see. Cynthia went on to another question, and that was, how many flavors should I have? How many should I do in my store? I think the old days of Baskin-Robbins, 31 flavors or 32 flavors, has gone by the wayside. It's just too many flavors. It's too much decision. I contend that the average person walking in already knows what flavor they want. I know, no matter what flavors you've got, I'm going to try your mint chip because I love mint chip. And I think many of us are that same way. So what also determines how many flavors is the way they build dipping cabinets. That's the cabinet that you serve the ice cream from. And they come in 4 flavors, 8 flavors, 10 flavors, 12 flavors, and 16 flavors. In the old days, you would have 2 of the 16 flavor cabinets. I want to see fewer flavors and more time and quality put into the quality of the flavors. So my store, if I had one, would be a 12 flavor dipping cabinet, and it would be broken up with 9 flavors of ice cream, 2 flavors of dairy free, and a 3rd flavor would be the wild card. That would be the flavor of the week that I advertise on Thursday night on social media and serve for the next week. And so you're going to be rotating one of those flavors out every single week, which gives people another reason to see, what's Steve doing this week? Or what flavor might we want to try in a pint? I still came in and ordered my mint chip, but the server at the end who's taking my cash says, oh, by the way, we have avocado ice cream in pints, and it's extremely good. And I'm making faces about it, and my wife Paula is saying, great, we'll take a pint. So it's another good way to up that sale. You already sold them the flavor they want, but they can take home the new exotic one in a frozen solid pint, so it'll make its way home.
Good points. So my last one is, what type of water do I use when making Italian ice? Water. You just use water.
Okay, that was a tough question.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, do you use tap water, distilled water, from the bottled water? What water? Just regular plain tap water is all you need to make Italian ice. Some customers ask, do I need to have a filter or filtration system set up? No, you don't. Now, if you have an area that's very well known for bad and hard water, then probably a very good suggestion to do so. But as far as just to make your Italian ice, just plain tap water is perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's just not as critical as it is in, say, for bagels or pizza. We know as New Yorkers, I know as a New Yorker, you can't make a decent pizza or a bagel outside the city of New York. It's that steel bars up at the Kensico Dam which filters out the dead bodies before it comes down the river.
Yes.
Really does a nice job.
Good to know.
My last question is again from Cynthia, and I liked it. She said, what flavors should I offer? Well, of course, that's really subjective, but I did some homework, and I looked up the top flavors of what people like in order. And no surprise, vanilla came up as number 1. People still like vanilla as their favorite flavor. And as Christy was saying about a previous comment of mine, ice cream business people will come into your store and judge your store on your vanilla. If you've got a top-notch vanilla, then you've got really something great in the store. So I've made up this list of different flavors with Death Bite chocolate, strawberry swirl, mint chip, cookie dough, Oreo cookie, coffee or NYPD, salted caramel, cherry vanilla, and then 3 or 2 of the dairy-free. If you want to get the list from me, email me, steve@emerythompson.com. I'll also share it with Christy at emerythompson.com, and we'll be happy to send it out to you. But whatever flavors you want to do is the correct number and the correct flavor.
That's it.
We'll see you next week.
Bye,
see you
guys.
next week.
I
Bye.
have a question for Christy.
Oh, you have a question for me?
I do.
Uh-oh.
What the heck is equivalate?
I don't know. When you're on a roll, you know, it comes out. You can't stop and fix your errors because then it just looks even worse. But you know, this is going to be pointed out now. Thanks, Mike.
I think I got thrown out of college for equivalating.
Well, when you're trying to like come
No,
up
not in
with,
public.
you're trying to like say words and it just spews out, and you're like, okay, and just keep going.
You know Ken's going to leave all this in, right?
Oh, I guess
Probably.
he does.
I hope you need to turn your volume up there, you know, so people can hear you.
I can hear me.
I think we're done. We've been insulted enough for one
I
day.
know.